It's interesting, I guess, because I'll say on iTunes, I kind of selected alternative, quote unquote, as the category, but I'm not even really sure what it means. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to. I think I'm trying to make interesting, sometimes idiosyncratic, adventurous music. Hopefully, even though some of it definitely, I think I love pop music, and I hope some of it does become popular music. So I don't know. I'm not really sure what the alternative word or category means to me, but actually, no. Upon thinking, just to be nominated amongst artists like Björk and Tom Waits and M83 and Fiona Apple, who is a favourite of mine, that's a pretty incredible thing. So I don't even think so much about the name of the category. I think just to be amongst artists like that is really an honour. First of all, I love the word mega hit. It's one they use in Holland on radio a lot. This week's mega hit from Gotye from Australia. I forget the rest of the question. I was just stuck on mega hit.
I'll speak on your behalf for this one. I'll speak for both of us on this one because I think, as Gotye says, when you become so wrapped up in a song, it's hard to see it the same way that other people do. But when he first showed it to me, the directness of it, how raw it was, and how much the emotion kind of cut through, even the words that I sing now and then, every time you screwed me over. Am I forgetting the lyrics of the song? And how direct that was, there's no beating around the bush. Something that, I'm learning to do more in my own music, with my own records. I've learned so much from him. And I think people love to have that honesty, especially in the charts again, and sometimes that maybe not around as much. And yeah, it's been amazing for us to both go out into crowds like Coachella and to see that people have been so moved by this song and because of how much it tells their story, a story that everyone's been through. Would you say so? Is that?
Sometimes I've felt self-conscious about the, it's weird, it's funny, I guess. I know I like a lot of music that can give you mixed feelings, that can, in a way, seem to suggest one thing but make you feel a different way. So in that way, I guess I can understand how a song that's actually a lot about confusion and about, not necessarily, some negative feelings or bitterness or irreparable aspects to a relationship, how that can also be anthemic for people and actually can, I suppose, be an aspect of healing or working through that. So I guess I can understand how that works, yeah. But at times I sometimes felt a bit self-conscious about it being such a big song, being one that is about people who don't seem to be able to work out the differences, and the fact that people sort of celebrating that seemed somehow incongruous to me for a while. As with a lot of my songs, it started with a sample, in this case of a Brazilian guitarist who was very active in the 50s and 60s called Luis Bonfá, and there were a few notes at the start of one of his songs called Seville, and the first two notes, when I took them and looped them back and forth, just had such a hypnotic quality for me that on some level they provided the tone for the whole song for me. That those two notes of guitar looped back and forth directly prompted the first line of lyric and the kind of sense of remembering old relationships in a reflective kind of melancholic way. And on some level, I guess, and this is similar with a lot of the other songs I try to write, it was kind of like I was just trying to follow the thread of not losing that aura or hypnotic quality that I heard in that sample through the addition of other hooks and lyrics and parts, even as the song changed dynamically with the chorus and all that stuff. Yeah, so that's kind of how it came about. I haven't really been writing anything. I've been touring so much, I haven't started. I've been, just the last month, collecting some new interesting instruments, eBaying a lot, going to odd instrument shops and trying to find new acoustic and electronic instruments that hopefully will provide, weird sounds and things that inspire me to write other tracks. And as far as pressure, I don't know, it's been such a surprise and a wonderful experience and exciting to see what's happened with the tune. I don't think it would be a good idea to try and pin my hopes on repeating that commercial success or needing to somehow repeat some aspect of that type of music. So I'm probably more interested to do something that contrasts with the music I've made already. Yeah, I guess I just follow my gut making music, so I don't think that's going to change. There were some aspects I knew with this album, even though I hadn't really released music very widely internationally with this before this album. There were some things that played in my mind making tracks in terms of the audience I had in Australia. I feel like I will be less susceptible to that because I realise one thing I feel I've learnt from a success of somebody that I used to know is that you can make some music that is purely driven by responding to, the musical aspects, the lyric aspects, not being driven by trying to fit into a radio format or an expectation of a label or a manager or something like that. And it can connect with people, and it seems to have done so. And that's not to discount any of the work that labels and managers do and have done in my case to, for people to hear the song. But that gives me a lot of confident feelings that I can just follow my instincts. Well, I bought this one very huge space-age organ called a Yamaha EX42, which came out in 1970. Kimbra saw it recently. We did some writing in my barn studio. What else? I found a beautiful little organ. Yeah, music boxes. I was just in Delhi in India and found a couple of electronic tabla drum machines that are pretty sweet. So I'm looking forward to playing with those.
This is addressed by Jamie Lee Major from Western Australia.